We're 2 months into 2017 and we've already had some pretty solid games this year. We've had a very busy February, but it looks like there's no sign of slowing down, and with March fast approaching, let's take a look at some of the games that have got us excited for the month ahead. Up first is Horizon Zero Dawn, developed by Guerrilla Games, the guys who made the Killzone games. It's released in the UK and Europe on March the 1st, and it's a PS4 exclusive. Horizon Zero Dawn is a huge, sprawling, open-world, third-person action-adventure with RPG elements. The game tells the story of Aloy, a primeval hunter-gatherer who lives in a world swarmed by cybernetic dinosaurs. Aloy ventures into the world in search of danger and to cleanse the land of the corruption that's being programmed into these huge creatures. The character makes use of a series of melee and ranged weapons and a variety of stealth and combat abilities to take down the robot forces wreaking havoc on the environment. The game includes a skill tree to upgrade when you level up, and it has all of the usual elements that you'd expect to see: stealth skills, combat skills, and survival skills. We've mentioned already that Sony has high hopes on Aloy becoming a PlayStation icon, but can she really do it? Well, we'll have to wait until March to find out. Unless you're American, that is, because the USA is getting this game a day early, on February the 28th. Next up is Mass Effect Andromeda, developed by BioWare and published by EA. It's set for release on March the 21st on PS4, Xbox One and PC. Mass Effect Andromeda is a huge, sprawling, open-world, third-person action-adventure with RPG elements. You play a Pathfinder whose job it is to explore a vast series of intergalactic destinations in the Andromeda galaxy to find a habitable planet for your race. The game is set somewhere between the plot points of the second and third Mass Effect, but knowledge of the previous game has been dubbed as completely unnecessary if you are new to the series. The game is set to have a lighter tone compared to the series' previous entries and has more of a focus on exploration this time around rather than the dramatic, genophage-stopping, planetary destruction themes of the last few games. And while a lot of the gameplay will be familiar, there are some significant changes. Combat is now more mobile with a focus on zooming around on jetpacks rather than ducking for cover. On a scale of 1 to Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, how gimmicky is this? Well, unlike Call of Duty, this is supposed to be futuristic, so we're not too worried. Another change is that this time around you don't have to pick one of 6 character classes, which was a pretty prohibitive system that they had in place for the last few games. Instead, you've got free reign to assign your skills and abilities in whichever way you prefer, whatever suits your playstyle as you progress. If you have EA access on Xbox One or Origin access on the PC, then you lucky few can get access to the game early for a limited time. Just how early? Well, EA haven't said yet, but if you're an access subscriber, then there's something to be excited about before the game actually comes out. Next up on the list, created by Ubisoft Paris, the developers of such gritty titles as the original Watch Dogs and Just Dance 2017, Ghost Recon Wildlands is released worldwide on March the 7th on PC, PS4 and Xbox One. Ghost Recon Wildlands is a huge, sprawling, open-world, third-person action-adventure with RPG elements. This game claims to be a co-op-based tactical experience, and there's a distinct focus on the team-based elements of the game. There's a 4-player co-op multiplayer where you and your mates can complete the game as a squad. Or if you're playing solo, then you'll have 3 AI teammates who you can give orders to and just generally boss about. The game is answering the cries of fans and moving away from the futuristic setting of the last title in the series, Ghost Recon Future Soldier, which I did kind of enjoy, to be honest. Ubisoft have said that this will be closest to the original Ghost Recon from back in 2003. If you're unfamiliar with these games, well, you play as a member of the Ghosts, a pretend US Army team, and you're pretty much always tasked to shoot some drug cartel members in the face and take over rundown, poverty-stricken outposts and towns in the name of American justice. The game boasts multiple ways to complete each objective, with players being able to use a variety of weapons, vehicles, and even weather conditions and times of the day to complete the objectives using their own strategies. The open beta starts Thursday, February the 23rd if you want to try this for yourself before you buy, and runs until Monday, February the 27th. Next up on the list is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Developed by Nintendo, Breath of the Wild is released worldwide on March the 3rd for the Wii U and the brand spanking new Nintendo Switch. Yeah, so Gareth cancelled his pre-order in a fit of rage for this game, but you know, who's stopping the rest of us? The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is, interestingly, a huge, sprawling, open-world, third-person action-adventure with RPG elements. Sounds like a bold idea, but let's see how it pans out. Like pretty much every Zelda game ever, you play as Link, who has woke up from a deep sleep with some form of amnesia in the Kingdom of Hyrule. There's probably also going to be a baddie in a castle who has predictably escaped imprisonment when you were sleeping and you have to stop him. The graphics look gorgeous, bright and vivid, and it could be the best looking Nintendo game ever made, but that's pure conjecture. It's also the first main Zelda title to feature actual voice acting, which is cool, and it's just one of the many small changes that have piqued people's interest for this game. Nintendo say they've focused a lot on the open world environment this time around, with less defined entrances and exits to areas in the game. Link can climb up nearly every surface and use the surrounding environments for all sorts of different things, using branches to light fires in the dark, making shields, or even snowboarding down frosty mountains. As with every game on this list, there's some form of leveling up progression system. This time it's by discovering runes to put on a slate. You can upgrade these powers with everything from crafting bombs to controlling time and f***ing space. It's also officially the last game being developed for the Wii U, as Nintendo makes room for its brand new console, the Switch. And last up on the list, it only makes sense that a special mention this month goes to Nintendo Switch, as it's a huge announcement and a brand new home console. The Switch is released worldwide on March the 3rd and is launching with, as I mentioned, 8 titles on release. Breath of the Wild is the only real AAA title on the list, if I'm being honest, but you've also got the likes of 1-2 Switch, Skylanders Imaginators, Just Dance 2017, and Super Bomberman R, as well as the likes of I Am Setsuna, World of Goo, Little Inferno, and Human Resource Machine. Despite being labelled and marketed as a home console, the Switch is fully portable and can play games on its 6-inch screen at 720p for up to 6 hours, depending on the type of game that you're playing. With 32GB of internal storage, it looks like space will pretty much be at a premium. The physical games are sold as tiny cartridges which look like SD cards and hilariously take up 1% of their retail box space. Very environmentally friendly. The controllers boast the new HD Rumble feature, which is apparently so accurate you can feel how many ice cubes are in a glass. With plenty of big titles being released later in the year like Super Mario Odyssey and Splatoon 2, it looks like the Switch will almost definitely be bringing something interesting to the table. So that's your lot for this month's video. Those were the biggest games coming out in March. What are you looking forward to most? Are you going to be picking up the Switch? Do let us know down in the comments. Remember to leave a like and subscribe if you did enjoy the video. Check out more of our content, should be some on the screen for you right now. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time.